Is it working? It's working. Hello, it's me. Right. I've got an exam on Wednesday. Looking at situation ethics, utilitarianism, the design argument, cosmological argument, and the problem of evil and suffering. And I know nothing. I know nothing at all. Um, so yeah, this little video is for me, but it's also for you, and that's why it's on YouTube. So I'm looking at situation ethics. So, right, situation ethics. I have all of this written down on a sheet that I made today. Even though I've been at home with study leave, I did this. I can't believe it. I actually did work. I watched Holmes Under the Hammer first, but I did work. Right, so situation ethics, created by Joseph Fletcher in the 1960s in his book Situation Ethics, and it's along the similar lines of the new morality for Man Come of Age, which is Robinson, by a bloke called Robinson. And basically, between Robinson and Fletcher, they decided that in the 1960s, when things like emerging teenage culture, alcohol, drugs, music, people, that's dreadful, musicians and things using drugs, and that being people's inspiration because they were all using drugs, and things like the contraceptive pill, Divorce Reform Act, or I think it's called, all of those sorts of things. People generally just moving away from the church. It was a time of revolution, a time of liberation. Things started to change, and Fletcher and Robinson decided we need something that these people can use. So they came up with situation ethics. So situation ethics is a situational theory. So it's the idea that there are no rules. No rules, nothing at all, apart from love. It's a teleological theory, so it means that there may be no rules, but any action can be right or wrong, providing it creates love at the end of it. So, if I give you my teddy bear, but then my teddy bear then gives you an allergic reaction because you're weird and allergic to teddy bears, then that might have seemed like a loving action, but because actually I've made you really poorly, it wasn't a very loving thing to do, so it was wrong. Whereas if I kill someone that you really don't like, and you end up being a happier person, I guess that's showing more love. So it's a funny one. They're probably really bad examples. Don't quote me on those. But it's the idea that the greatest love needs to be created for the greatest number. And the end results that are observed are what we judge as to whether an action was right or wrong. So if it creates love, it was right, no matter what the action is. You could have done anything, literally anything, and providing it created love at the end of it, it was a good thing to do. So that's the basis. So situation ethics says nothing's wrong, providing it creates love, or agape, which is just a fancy word for unconditional love. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for the beginning bit. It works on 4 working presuppositions. So you've got pragmatism. Yeah, it's the idea that every action should strive to create love. So actions that don't create love are wrong. The second one, you've got relativism, which is the idea that nothing is intrinsically right or wrong. There are no rules. So there's nothing like never or always in situation ethics. There are no fixed laws, so any action can be relevant, providing it creates love. Then you've got positivism, which is the idea that love is a priority, and if you accept God, you accept love as a priority. The fourth one, personalism, is the idea that people are more important than anything. So people are more important than standards. That's Robinson. Honest to God, his book was. That's from Honest to God, which was his book. I think he actually wrote it before Fletcher wrote Situation Ethics, but it ties in very closely. So that's saying that people are more important than anything. So if I had to choose between my sister And my dog would win hands down every time. But under situation ethics, because my dog is an animal and my sister arguably isn't an animal, I'd have to choose my sister, which is gutting, really. Um, and then it works through 6 fundamental principles. Now, please excuse the funny hand gestures that I'm about to do, but me and my best friend Maddie, we share Friday Free together every single week, and before one of my timed essays on this, I realised I'd done no work whatsoever, so we made up little hand gestures, so please, please excuse the crazy hand gestures. But they might help. They did. I got an A, so they were good. Thank you, Maddie. Right then, so one thing is intrinsically good, namely love, nothing else. That's the first one. So one thing is intrinsically good, namely love, nothing else. So it reinforces pragmatism, it reinforces relativism, because it's saying that it aims for love, that everything should aim for love, and there's nothing right or wrong intrinsically apart from love. So a good example to link to this is the example of Mrs. Bergmeyer. I think that's how you say it, Bergmeyer? I think. Yeah, Bergmeyer. If you've heard of the story of sacrificial adultery, I think it's dubbed, in which Mrs. Bergmeyer, she's separated from her family, she's in a prisoner of war camp, and they're on the outside, and for her to get out, she asks a Russian prison guard to make her pregnant, so that she can be released and be joined with her family. Now, adultery is intrinsically wrong. Most people would agree adultery is not a good thing to do. However, in this situation, it's seen as the most loving thing to do. So it's right. Because she can then be rejoined with her family, adultery is seen as the right thing to do. So it's okay. Situation ethics says, yeah, go on, be an adulteress. But in that case, it's fine. The second one, the ruling norm of Christianity is love, nothing else. So the ruling norm of Christianity is love, nothing else. And Jesus acted situationally. And an example, what is that? I think it's a spider. He stopped the adulterous woman from being stoned to death because of love. Jesus was motivated by creating love. He didn't act to any rules, he didn't act to any laws, he acted towards creating love, or agape. And this is something quite nice. No ethics need to be systematic, because Jesus certainly wasn't. Now that's in situation ethics, however it's Fletcher quoting a bloke called Rudolf Bultmann in situation ethics. So yeah, saying Jesus acted situational. Jesus didn't follow laws or rules. He just acted as he felt necessary to create love. So situation ethics says, yeah, let's do that. So the next one, decisions should be made situationally, not prescriptively. So decisions should be made situationally, not prescriptively. So it's the idea that man needs to use his own freedom to make decisions as they arrive. You can't have a sort of, this fits everything, this solution will solve every problem of this sort, because no two problems are the same. We can't say that this solution worked out in this case, so it's going to work out in every case, because it just doesn't. So we have to take each situation on their own merits and sort them out from there. The fourth one, love wills the neighbour good, whether we like him or not. So love wills the neighbour good, whether we like him or not. This is where I feel I should grab a picture of Justin Bieber, because this is saying that I may not like Justin Bieber, which I don't. He's not my cup of tea at all. However, I can't go, oh, I hope he's going to die tomorrow, because that would be dreadful. So yeah, love wills the neighbour good, whether we like him or not. So relates to love thy neighbour. The story of the Good Samaritan, the parable of the Good Samaritan. In the Samaritan had nothing to gain by helping the man. Their countries were rivals. Their countries were... I don't think rival's the right word. You know what I mean? Countries were against each other. He had nothing to gain from helping, but he did anyway. So it's the idea we shouldn't expect anything from helping somebody, and we also, it doesn't matter whether we like someone or not. We should still strive to create love for them. Turn over the page. The fifth one. Only the end justifies the means, nothing else. So only the end justifies the means, nothing else. So this relates to it being a teleological theory, in that love must be created as an end product for an action to be good. So an action could on the outset seem totally dreadful, but providing it creates love at the end, nothing wrong with it. And then the last one, the sixth one, justice and love are the same thing, for love is justice distributed. So justice and love are the same thing, for love is justice distributed. So based on the idea that because there aren't any set rules, there are no set laws, nothing, we can't work off, justice can't work off following set rules, because in situation ethics there are none. So justice relies on looking at love and what love can bring about. So it relies on looking at whether people are getting the amount of love they deserve and things like that. So that's situation ethics in a nutshell. And I'm not quite... Oh my goodness, this is like 12 minutes long. We only have like another 10 minutes to write all that down in the exam. Just fine. So yeah, I think I'm going to do another one of these, because as much as I feel like a right, I'm not going to say it, I think actually talking helps. So I'm going to make another one of these on the weaknesses of situation ethics. But yeah, I think I need to drink first. So I hope this has helped. I think it's helped me, and I hope we don't fail. But if we fail together, so that's fine. So yeah, bye. How do I turn this off? Oh dear, I've not used this before. Alright, bye!